This is Deep Dive into Joy, and I'm your host, Gina Rickner. Hey, Joy listeners, it's your host, Gina. Welcome to Deep Dive into Joy, the podcast where we get real, talk about testimonies, journeys, health and wellness, and so much more. We are in season 4, and today we're looking at a different side of medicine. My guest today is Shana Peoples. She is a doctor of functional medicine, and she decided 8 years ago that it was time to change things up and heal people the way that she was healed. Unlike conventional medicine, which often focuses on treating symptoms, functional medicine looks at the root cause of disease, focusing on the whole person, not just the diagnosis. But this isn't just about medicine, it's about meaning. What drives someone to choose a healing path that requires slowing down, listening deeply, and how do they find joy in a world where burnout is the norm? I know Shana because we attended the same high school. She's a mom and she works at Sheer Volume. She also does functional medicine career on the side. We are going to dive into her personal life, what brought her to this education decision, and how she healed herself naturally. We paused this episode to bring to you the sponsor of the podcast, Sigmatic. Get your daily focus without the jitters. A coffee that is actually good for you. I'm talking about Sigmatic. They have taken the health world by storm. Take me to Fungi Town because Sigmatic is a mushroom-based coffee that doesn't taste like dirt. They have real premium coffee that tastes delicious. When you drink Sigmatic, you're getting functional mushrooms, pre- and probiotics, and depending on which one you choose, it's helping with focus, energy, gut health, immune support, and stress support. All those benefits in one cup. Who wouldn't want to trade their old daily coffee, and mold, by the way, for Sigmatic? Many people have made the switch because of better taste, better ingredients, and better results. Trusted by experts and performers because their products are organic, no mold to worry about, and no plastics coming from your K-cups. This coffee comes in ground, instant, which is my favorite. I just add the packet to hot water, mix, and drink. I usually add a little bit of red milk and 100% maple syrup to add a little bit of flavor too. Not only does Sigmatic have coffee, but they also offer plant-based protein powder, creamers, and supplements. It tastes like a nice healthy cup of hot cocoa when you purchase the Com Mix. All these products contain functional mushrooms, so you're getting the benefits no matter what you choose. I personally don't like to back companies that I don't use or like, so you know it's true when you hear about my sponsors. I actually use the products I share with you guys. I hate nothing more than being tricked by influencers on products to only get scammed and wasting money on actual product. I have had Sigmatic protein powder. I have used their instant coffee just about every day. I've used the Com Mix in the evenings, and I've tried the Gut Health Instant Coffee Balance Focus, and I have loved each of them. So if you want mornings to change for the better and upgrade your health routine, Sigmatic is for you. And who wouldn't want all those benefits first thing in the morning? Change your life, change your routine, and for the love, change your coffee. Oh, what's that? I hear Sigmatic calling your name, Joy listeners. Use my link, us.forsigmatic.com/Gina, that's all capital, Gina, 40963 for 20% off your order when you use the link. It will bring the discount up for you automatically. Now, I know some of these links are a little bit funky, so I will list in the show notes, and you can find it under my highlights on Facebook and Instagram at gina.rickner. Sigmatic, because your body and mornings deserve better. Shana, I want to welcome you to the podcast. Thank you so much for taking the time to come on with me today. I'm really looking forward to this one. Ever since my diagnosis, I'm very much into natural healing, health and wellness, nutrition, and just being somewhat of a crunchy mom. But I like to ask every guest before we start, what is your favorite drink?
Well, if I'm being completely honest, I love some hot black tea with honey.
Yeah.
I do drink water throughout the day mostly. That's my drink, is just plain filtered water, but my guilty pleasure drink is black hot tea.
Have you ever tried Manuka honey? I
Yes.
started putting that in my tea, and it's like a game changer.
Yeah, so since it's so expensive, Manuka honey is
Yeah.
my only during flu seasons.
Yeah.
It's my strep throat arsenal with a little bit of crushed garlic. It
Okay.
takes away the strep for my kids within,
So
a
what do you do?
day.
You just mix it together and
They just
like,
eat it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they actually like it. It covers the flavor, the strong flavor
Yeah.
of the garlic. But yeah.
I've been doing spoonfuls of garlic and just swallowing it with water. I know
If
that's
you can
gross,
tolerate
but
it, that's great. Yeah.
Okay, so I just want you to go over a little bit about your personal life and what brought you to the decision of functional medicine, just kind of like your overall journey of how you got here today.
Okay, so I'm gonna try to shorten this one up because
That's
it's
fine.
a long story. It's been many years going through this and getting to this point, but so personal life, it's just me. I have a boyfriend. I have 4 kids. I work full time, but 2 different jobs. I'm at Sheer Volume Salon. I do esthetician work there and also see patients for functional medicine, mostly weight loss. But I also do a little bit of everything else. I clean houses and just do what I need to do to get my house built and make it day to day, support my kids. But what got me here was when I started having kids. I was very young. I didn't take very good care of myself. I didn't know anything. Standard American diet. We lived off of Spam and macaroni and cheese with hot dogs. Those were staples in my first pregnancy. I was only 20. But about 7 months after that, I hit what I didn't know at the time was postpartum. And it hit me like a brick wall, just such a different experience. I was scared to death. And it took many years going through that and other health changes, such as through each pregnancy. I did end up on medication for the postpartum, which only 1 out of about 20 that I tried did anything. And only for about 2 years did it help.
It was the same for me.
Yeah, so that's where conventional medicine sort of failed me right off the bat. Was absolutely nothing helped and nobody knew what was going on with me. It was my hormones. It was as simple as that, but it was, hey, we're going to try these 20 medications, although none of them were helping because that didn't for me take care of the issue.
Yeah.
But one did help for about 2 years, but during that time it caused me other health issues, such as the candida overgrowth began. That sort of took away some of the mental part of it for a bit, but it made my liver very unhealthy. I was overeating a lot of sugar, going into another pregnancy, another postpartum. It just continued to get worse. And
so what were your symptoms during postpartum? Was it just like depression or?
It was, I don't want to say depression because I didn't go through crying spells or feeling a type of way like that. It was more so what they call postpartum OCD.
Okay.
So I had a lot of anxiety and really intrusive thoughts. And for some people that might be like, oh, my baby is going to stop breathing in the night. And for others and myself, it was more like worst case scenarios, like something really detrimental and gruesome. It wasn't just mild. They were scary things and thoughts and fears. And I thought I was going to lose my mind. And that's really where this started. Where I wanted to find more answers because I'm like, there's no way people go through life feeling like this, and this medication isn't helping. Like, what do people do? I can't do this forever. And I literally prayed my way through nights. Yeah. That's how I fell asleep at night. That's what got me through my day. Like, please do not let this overtake me. I don't know what this is, but don't let this overtake me. Can I please just get through this day? Let me fall asleep and not lose my mind, please. Like, it was constant prayer. That's the only thing that got me through. Because the medication, I mean, it wasn't working. And when it did, it was just a Band-Aid for a little bit. And I was right back at it like, oh, God, please, not this again. Like, we have to get through this. Don't let this, take over my life. Like, I loved being a mom. I didn't know it until I had them, but that's my purpose.
Yeah.
Like, I am a mom through and through. I always was, even as a teenager, taking care of my friends who were drinking, and I was the driver and the, hey, let me hold your hair. That was me. I'm a mother. And it was amazing, and I felt robbed, like I couldn't enjoy it fully because of what I was going through, and it was so unfair. How could I love this child so much and be so scared and not be able to really enjoy? So I dealt with what's called, intrusive thoughts, postpartum OCD, to the point where I literally had to pray my way through nights and days just to get through. I don't remember a lot of things from my daughter being little. When she was probably 1, 2, I don't have a lot of memories from then. And it was the trauma, just going through that. Your body just kind of survives day to day and doesn't really intake core
It's really
memories.
weird because I was the same way with my daughter. Like, after having my son, I look back and I'm like, holy crap, I don't remember hardly anything about my daughter.
Yeah.
And I went through, like, depression with her. And with my son, it was more like what you went through, was like the intrusive thoughts and stuff. So it's so weird how it was completely different for both of them.
Yeah. It was the same for me with both of my first kids, but I just think at the point of having my daughter, my second child, it was just so bad and had overtaken me for so long. Like, my body was just in survival mode. That's what it was. So I don't have a lot of memories from them. But then that medication did eventually stop working, and I was in much worse shape than prior. That's where I was desperate, and I'm like, there has to be another answer. So I did seek out a place in Cranberry, and they did a few tests on me. One was called a biomeridian test, and they're like, hey, you have a severe candida fungal overgrowth. And I'd never heard of that in my life. You know, so I was like, okay, what do I do? And they had me change my entire diet, mostly gluten-free, dairy-free, no added sugar, no food colorings and artificial flavorings. And I was all aboard. I'm like, good, okay, that's fine, I'll do whatever. I took some supplements for the candida overgrowth, as well as at the same time a parasite cleanse. And within not even 2 weeks, my symptoms were 90% better.
Wow.
And so I said, right then and there, I have to know more about this. Other people have to know this. Like, nobody knows this. I didn't know, prior to that there was even such an option, or that there was such a thing as candida overgrowth. So I was amazed, and my body hadn't felt that good. And at that point, 3 years at least. And so I immediately got into school for it. I started with a certificate in nutrition, and then I went on to get an associate's degree in naturopathy, which is just natural healing. You know, it's not quite functional medicine, but it's just the basics of treating the body as a whole. So that's what got me there, was postpartum, my hormones being out of whack, severe candida fungal overgrowth, which were giving me symptoms such as, impetigo coming out of my face, my ears. I looked 6 months pregnant after eating anything. And you could just tell, looking back at pictures, I was just so puffy and inflamed. I was not myself. I didn't feel myself. I couldn't drop weight. Like, just in general, you can tell I was not well, but that's what it was. And functional medicine, naturopathy, whichever route you want to take it, it all comes together as one. But that's what started healing me right away, and it took not even 2 weeks.
Yeah, something as easy as just changing up your food.
Yes, and people don't know
cool.
that, and I wanted people to know, so.
Yeah.
And that's what got me there.
So I know that you've been through quite a ride, and I'm glad that you came on to share all of that with us, because I know that somebody out there needs to hear it, and I know that it helps me even working with you. You've helped me through my supplement journey, and just kind of like, I guess I need to talk to you more about nutrition, because I'm at that point where I don't know if it's like a mixture of things or my thyroid being off, but I can't lose weight either. And I mean, of course I wasn't able to walk for a while, but that could be it. So I just feel like it's important to have a whole team in your life, and not just the conventional side of things, but functional medicine, nutrition, and spiritual healing as well, because we are mind, body, and spirit.
Yes, that's what that focuses on too. It's the body as a whole. That's functional medicine. It's so important to really hit all angles, and that spiritual as well. Being at a good basis of who you are and what you believe, and just needing something to give you that sense of calm and that security. That's important for your body's healing as well.
Yeah. I knew like, as soon as I found out about my diagnosis, it's like, okay, I just dove into literally everything I could, like, throwing everything at it that I could. And that was one of the things, is like, I knew I was looking at conventional side, and I knew I needed more than just that because I had to support my body while going through that treatment. So then I, like, dove into all the functional stuff and nutrition. I'm like, wow, you just get so overloaded.
There are so many things out there now. Like,
It is,
it's
and then
easy to
it's,
get overwhelmed.
yeah, it's like, well, and then everything's like contradicts everything else, and it's like
I know.
someone says eat meat, someone says don't eat meat, or, you know.
That's why Instagram is such a blessing and a curse.
Yeah,
'Cause
like
you
a
can
love-hate
learn so much on there,
relationship.
but also you can unlearn the same thing in 3 seconds.
Yeah.
It just depends on who you're following.
And then it's like you hear all that stuff, and it's like, okay, I want to do it all because why
That was
not?
me at
You
one
know,
point. That
like,
was me.
I totally got overloaded, and then all of that stress of trying to do it all was not good for me. But I also learned that, like, I went through deliverance because I did have a lot of past trauma. And I'm like, okay, I learned that we are mind, body, and soul, and I needed more than just medicine. I needed to be healed spiritually. So
Yeah,
that was
releasing
something really
trauma,
cool.
That's something that's just as important as taking your magnesium. you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. So I want to head into some questions, if you don't mind, and then we'll head into some rapid fire. But
Yeah.
I want to start with you being a mom. So how did you journey around going back to school and raising babies? How many did you have when you went back to school? Did you have all 4 at that time?
So I had 2, and
Okay.
I was pregnant with my 3rd.
Okay.
That's when I finished. I shouldn't say that's when I started. That's when I finished my degree.
Okay.
So I was going through the thick of it, getting my doctorate, while I was pregnant with my 3rd, Gabe, and I had already had 2. So at that point, that was actually a super mom moment of mine because I had 2 kids. I was pregnant with the 3rd, who had a diagnosis that we weren't sure he was going to live
that. Yeah.
upon birthing him, and so I had to mentally prepare for that for half of my pregnancy. And then I was also working part-time at the daycare that I'm no longer at, but I had worked at for so many years. And then going to school when I was home. Luckily I was able to do that from home on my laptop.
Yeah.
So that was online. So I was doing all of those things, but that was when I was pregnant with Gabe, so.
Is it too emotional to speak on that? Because
No.
I actually forgot that journey that you went through.
That's like
So
my biggest, it is my biggest, but
Yeah.
I have 2 very big testimonies in my life, and
yeah,
that's
so
one of them.
talk a little bit how you got through that. Because I couldn't imagine being pregnant and not
It was
knowing.
an emotional labor for sure, but honestly, I mean, if I'm being completely honest, I tell people they were so kind and heartfelt about it and just felt so sad for us and what can we do, and I can't imagine. And
So, like, you literally didn't know until you birthed?
no, so
Or,
that's,
okay.
we got lucky with being halfway through is when we found out
Okay.
that he was going to be okay. Now, we thought when he was born he would still have a little bit of kidney damage
Okay.
or something along those lines, but not anywhere near the possibilities that if he lived, what he was going to go through.
Okay.
Like never being able to come off dialysis and such a thing. And that's why the doctor that I had actually seen, he said that we were basically stupid and irresponsible for not aborting him because
Wow.
the life I was setting my kid up for was just shameful, and how could I do that? And I never had a bad feeling though. I was sad. It was a reality that it was like, okay, even if I don't feel bad about it, it's real. He could be born and take no breaths because his lungs couldn't develop properly. That was the problem. His bladder wasn't able to drain, so it was the size of his whole abdomen for half my pregnancy, and so his lungs were not going to be able to develop properly if we didn't give him a stent, and that stent may have not even worked. We didn't know. I went the whole way through amniocentesis to see if he had any abnormalities. They wouldn't help him if he did. But since he was normal, as far as any chromosomes, being different, that was all normal. And then they said, okay, we'll do the stent. But when they went back to do the ultrasound they just have to do it before the procedure, whatever, it had corrected itself.
Wow.
His bladder had drained, and that meant that from there on out, because their lungs don't develop until, a certain gestation, they were able to just be okay. They were developing properly then at that point because it had drained.
What a miracle.
So that was a lot of prayer. And that
Yeah.
wasn't just, he was all through multiple churches, prayer chains, and That was a big thing, and it wasn't emotional labor. It was hard to accept, but I never had a bad feeling about it. So that's how I got through it, is that I just knew.
That's awesome.
He was just going to be okay, and he's very much okay. He's so smart and so talented. He's been blessed because of, I think, us giving him that chance and not aborting. He's been very blessed. He's good at everything he does. He's so smart, and he's just the sweetest. He's my little angel, and that's why we named him Gabriel.
Yeah. Oh, your kids are so cute.
Thanks.
How has being a mom changed your perspective on life?
Honestly, I can't even say that it has changed my perspective, because I had my first kid so young. That's all I've ever known.
Me too.
That's my perspective on life, is that you take care of those kids, and that's your first priority. And that's my purpose, is those kids. And so my perspective on life is that I'm doing and always have done everything in my power. Any thought I have, any action I take is with them in mind, and for them. That's it.
Yeah.
That's my life.
I don't know how you do 4, because I always hear, like...
It's also why I'm crazy.
Yeah. I always hear, like, having... I don't even know how they say it, but, like, adding the 3rd is, like, nothing, but then when you add the 4th, it's, like, total chaos.
No, it really,
so I don't know if that's true.
Really is, to an extent, but also my kids are spaced a certain amount apart, that it's, like, my big ones, they are self-sufficient at this stage.
Yeah, that's
and
true.
They're more of a help than anything, especially with my daughter, with Milana, my youngest daughter. She's a second mom to her, so I think so that goes cute for people that have kids back to back to back.
Yeah,
mine are helpers. So
yeah. Let's head into the functional medicine side. What would you say to someone who has been hesitant to come over to functional medicine, but is just still not there the whole way?
I would just say, just do it. It's not scary. You don't have to go all in. I know you did. It was scary. You wanted to just, fix it and just go head first, and it's so overwhelming, and that's what I think deters a lot of people, is just not knowing everything and being like, oh, there's too much information out there, I don't know where to start. But it doesn't have to be like that. You just do it, and you get into with someone like me, like, I'm open to taking things slow, and I just say, hey, if you just change out like one thing from your diet a week, or just start taking this supplement for now, see how you feel, like, you can start out slow and you can heal your body. It doesn't have to be that you need to overnight change your entire life and just
like I did.
Don't know where to start. Yeah, you can.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah,
I don't recommend it. Please don't.
But you don't have to. So I'd say just do it. Just ask questions.
Yeah.
Get interested.
Whenever I found out about my diagnosis, I was like, okay, all the cleaning products are out. I even went as far as changing our bedding to organic. Like,
yeah, same. And it can be done over time, but if you can do it all at once, it's also really great.
Yeah, it's very expensive.
You don't have to overwhelm yourself, or your pockets.
Yeah.
You don't have to overwhelm your pockets.
So what has functional medicine taught you as a person?
Honestly, it has mostly taught me, and right away, as soon as I started feeling better, that what our bodies are capable of. We can heal, and our bodies are very self-healing and resistant to, the tackles of our world. We have a very toxic environment, very toxic standard American diet, but our bodies are able to heal. And it has taught me really just how powerful, food is, natural supplements, like, that's all medicine. Food is medicine. That's what it's taught me mostly. Like, we have everything we need. We just have to go back to the basics. Mm-hmm.
So how do you personally care for your own well-being and your kids, especially when you're holding space for others' healing?
I have to be honest, it's very hard. I struggle some days, like, even just getting with you, like, it's just, it's hard because you just feel pulled in so many different directions, and I was spread so thin there for a couple months. I want to help everybody. I want to answer everybody's questions. I want to be the best mom I can be, and I know I need to take care of myself. Also have to work full time. It is a lot, but I just make sure that I try to stay present, in the moment, and be like, I know I have this and this going on. I need to get hold of this person. I should do this for myself. But in that moment, I'm like, my child needs this. So that's what I focus on. And I just kind of try to take things minute to minute and not worry so much about the many different things that, I have going on.
It's very hard in this world today.
Oh, it is. There's a lot of demands. But I just try to focus on one thing at a time. And
so what do you think conventional medicine is lacking? A lot.
It's lacking a lot. And I don't like to talk down on it too hard because there is a time and a place.
Yes.
And if my child's life needed emergency help for saving, which it did in October, I mean, we took a life flight, we had the MRIs, we had the scans, we didn't know if it was life or death. And I can respect conventional medicine for those moments. But day to day, I think it's lacking treating the body as a whole. We are not depression. We don't have a deficiency in Prozac. You know, and I think that's what it's lacking. Our government has funded medical programs to teach future doctors about an ailment and how to treat it with a medication. And that's it. I think they're lacking a lot of knowledge on nutrition also.
Yes. I did see where I think they're going to start learning a little bit more about that. So that's awesome
That would be amazing.
to hear. Yeah. So what are your hopes for the future of medicine and for the people listening who want to live more joyfully?
The future of medicine, honestly, I would love to see functional medicine and conventional be able to come together.
Yes.
Now, there are a few doctors around here, I won't mention names, but I'm sure he knows who he is, that dabble in both, and it should be that way. It's like, hey, try taking this supplement that's not going to wreck your liver, you know, and put you in decline for Alzheimer's. But also, if you absolutely need something, we can do this, or we can send you for blood work, or we can give you the scan to make sure you're not relapsing from, you know, something. Those should go hand in hand. They really should. You need that life-saving, like, it's amazing what man has come up with and what science has done. But also, our bodies were created, you know, without mistake. We can heal. And there are foods out there that have the power to heal certain things. And if those two things could come hand in hand, work together, like, how powerful is that?
Yeah.
You know? So I'm hoping for that. It's not always a battle.
Yeah.
You know?
So tell us what a typical day looks like for you on the nutrition side. I guess I'm just more interested in, like, what do you eat on a day-to-day basis?
I keep it very simple.
I need to follow you.
Very simple. And we honestly eat the same things. Like, I go through spurts. Baseball season is like, we have a set menu because it's quick. You know, we have to do those quick and easy dinners for on the go. But I basically eat the same things every day. And so that can alternate for breakfast between I have eggs, sausage, avocado. I don't eat a lot of breads, which is fine if you do have some, you know, less processed grains. But I don't. Or I'll have Greek yogurt with berries and a little bit of honey, just for the protein. I don't eat a lot of dairy, but if I do, I stick with the Greek yogurt just because of the protein content. It's easy for me to get protein in.
I wish I liked yogurt. I don't.
Especially Greek. A lot of people are really turned off by Greek yogurt. But yeah, that yummy stuff that has the sugar and the dyes in it, make it look nice. That's not, we don't
horrible,
go there. But I really just alternate between those certain foods, and then lunch will usually be leftovers or tuna salad with just some, like, gluten-free crackers. I like the Simple Mills brand because they're very minimally processed. And always a vegetable. You know, I just stick to, it's kind of like the bodybuilder diet. Like, they have their vegetable, their complex carb of some sort, and a protein.
How much protein would you recommend in a day for a woman?
Well, for people in general, you should have 1 gram per pound of body weight a day.
Okay.
Now, I think to an extent that's a little excessive, because I think that's for a lot of people who, that's great for if they're active, if they're working out every day. A lot of people aren't having a lot of movement, they're not stressing their muscles. You know, we do need a certain amount for hormone health, for liver health. But I would say that most Americans don't even get half of that.
Yeah.
So if you could even get 3/4 of that's great. You know? But 1 gram per pound of body weight is what is really recommended, especially if you're weightlifting.
So you said you eat sausage sometimes in the morning. Is it pork sausage?
Absolutely not. So
okay,
I don't eat pork, and
I know there's a lot of controversy on pork, so I wanted to know your view on it.
I'm anti-pork for many reasons, but one of the big ones is that they don't sweat, so all their toxins are held in their meat, including worms, parasites. And so that's an easy way to get them, as well as eating sushi. So I'm not a fan of raw anything.
Okay.
But no pork, so I do turkey or chicken sausage. And I like the Applegate brand. It's not organic.
Yeah, that's what I buy. Yeah.
This is where crunchy meats, like, we have to live realistically. Like, I don't even know where I would buy at this point an organic and minimally processed turkey or chicken sausage.
Yeah.
Like, we don't have that around here. Maybe Costco or something,
Yeah.
but yeah, so I do that for sausage, and we do turkey bacon. Like, if we're gonna have bacon for breakfast or BLTs, I'll still make stuff like that. So I eat more mindfully, but I still have those types of dinners. Like, we'll have BLTs on the go, but I just have organic tomatoes and gluten-free or sprouted bread and turkey bacon. So,
Okay. So even if, say, for pork, like the farmer and they're naturally raised and, non-GMO, you're still against it.
I am. No,
Okay.
if you're going to eat it, I would recommend that that's the route that
Yeah.
you go, of course.
Okay.
But pork in general, whether it is raised locally, no matter what they're fed, they are just a meat that is considered unclean, and it's
Okay.
just because they don't sweat. So there's no way that their bodies, their livers, anything that is supposed to be filtering out toxins, it can't actually go anywhere.
Okay.
I mean, they're going to excrete some in their urine and feces, but you should sweat. You
Yeah.
sweat most of your toxins out, even us as humans. That's how you get rid of a lot of toxins, is through sweat. So, but
Okay.
they don't. So it's all in the meat.
Okay. So, no more pork. All right.
No more pork.
Do you have a certain supplement company you recommend? I didn't know if you had a favorite.
I have a couple.
Or a couple.
I have a few. I really use a lot of and recommend a lot of and have used a lot of in the past. I like Pure Encapsulations just because they're a more affordable brand. There's no fillers, there's no additives, it's just the basics. Those and Vimergy is a good one. Now, I learned about that brand through Medical Medium. I don't know if you've ever heard of Anthony Williams' Medical Medium.
I don't think so, but you turned me on to that supplement brand.
Yeah,
so I have bought them.
I really like those. They're very reputable, and they have just the basics. They have the things that you need. So anything that would be like a day-to-day supplement or for a certain protocol, they're going to have that and nothing else, So Pure Encapsulations, Vimergy. I've used Symbiotica a lot. I like Seed brand for probiotics. I've used Mary Ruth's in the past. They're more affordable, just on Amazon.
Yeah.
So I have quite a few that I just kind of switch off and on, depending on. Seeking Health is another good one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it also true that you should be switching supplement brands, like going back and forth and not using the same one all the time? Just, like, I don't know if your body gets used to the same one all the time.
I'm not sure if it's so much the brand as your body does get used to certain things.
Okay.
So it's kind of like shampoo. Your hair will get used to certain shampoos and you're supposed to switch it up here and there. I think it's good to give your body breaks from certain supplements just so, if you're not seeing any changes or you're not feeling your best, maybe your body needs a break. And then when you come back to it, it's like, oh, okay. You could get overloaded with things and you don't know it. Not that it's bad. Your body will excrete what you don't use for most supplements, but sometimes I think it's good to just take a break, maybe not necessarily switch the brand.
Okay. So what is one piece of advice for someone who wants to start taking their health seriously today?
Honestly, I would say begin with nutrition. Reach out. Whether it would be me, somebody else that has knowledge about nutrition, that's going to change your health probably faster and more than anything is going to be changing your diet. Because our standard American diet is slowly killing most of our population. I mean, truthfully, it is. I hate to be too harsh, but it is.
No, I believe it. What are some of your favorite biohacks?
All of them. No, I have to be honest, with my life because it is so busy. I don't dabble in them as much as I used to and as much as I would want to. But some of my favorites really are just a good old Epsom salt bath. Soaking with that and some baking soda just to draw out toxins.
Make sure there's no fragrance in it.
No, yeah, not the Dr. Teal's fragrance. It's just, I like Ancient Minerals. They actually have a magnesium spray too on Amazon, but they're just huge magnesium flakes. Okay. And so I just put that in hot water, really hot water. You stay in it as long as you can and it draws out toxins, makes you sweat. It's kind of like being in a sauna, but you don't have to sit in a sauna, but that's my other favorite. Yeah. They make zip-up saunas that whether it has or does not have the red light in it, that's even better. But zip-up saunas, just sweating out as much as you can is going to help your body get rid of so many toxins.
Yeah, I love my sauna.
And it's relaxing. Yeah. And so the other would be the red light therapy. It's good for pretty much anything. Any inflammation, even just your skin, for boosting collagen. Anything from that to that, you know.
So, like, there are two settings on mine. One is near infrared and one just has the red light. And I've heard, so the near infrared, that actually reaches the cells. Is that correct?
Yes, and then there's the far infrared.
Okay.
And so some of them on the market are either or, and some are both, and you can switch off and on. They're both great, but one does get into the cells more for like mitochondrial support.
Okay.
Whereas the other one is just kind of like for muscle healing and the warmth and like any irritation or inflammation, like pain management. Or the other one can be used for both.
Okay.
So mine actually has both too, and
Yeah.
I always just put it on just the red because...
Okay. So I wasn't sure which one I should be using, so I always switch back and forth.
Yeah, it's good
I think I turned them
switch.
both on. I can't remember.
I don't think I can turn both on mine, but it's good to switch, just if you have that ability. Yeah, but if not, just plain old red light therapy. Usually they just have one, you know, the less expensive ones, but...
Okay. So I know there's a lot of controversy on raw milk, but what is your thoughts on it?
That's still...
Because it's still dairy.
Controversial thing for me, too.
Yeah.
So first of all, I don't drink or really intake, I guess, a lot of dairy in general. But I also don't disagree that almond milk is not the best thing for you either.
Yeah.
Now, I do use some of the Kiki milk. I don't know if you've ever heard of that, but they're more expensive. The Kiki milks and the almond milks that have very few ingredients are really expensive.
If I use almond milk, it's the almond milk,
yes.
the MALK.
And that's good, yeah. But like just our like regular Silk brand almond milk, that's not going to be better for your health than having dairy because of the fillers and things in it.
And the oat milk is horrible for you. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, because the oats are sprayed with chemicals, and then, we're drinking them, not just eating them here and there.
It's crazy.
But, raw milk, though, if you're going to have milk, I feel like there are a lot of benefits, even though it's a risk. And I know the risk is bacteria, which can be on any of our foods, really.
I always say know the farmer, know where it's coming from.
The source, trust them, and, you know, if it works for you and you feel good on it, I wouldn't be able to personally just drink raw dairy or just milk in general. It doesn't work for me, and that's why I've steered away from it. Taking dairy away from my diet has helped me heal, because what dairy does is feeds pathogens in the body. They like thrive on the sugars and the fat content in the dairy. So if you're overloaded with certain viruses, bacteria, pathogens, like it could just be parasites, they're going to thrive on that dairy. Now, why it's controversial is that raw milk does also contain a lot of vitamins and minerals and proteins. So it is good for the body in one way, and in another way it could be feeding things that are not doing you any favors.
Okay. So maybe I should steer clear from it with my overgrowth. Okay.
Yeah, the thing about
because I used it in my bone broth protein shake. I was switching back and forth from the raw milk to the almond milk, but I guess I should get off of it.
A little bit of that's not going to hurt anything. It's just...
Yeah, I don't sit and drink glasses of milk. I just use it in that, but...
The thing about dairy is just that it was meant for baby cows. You know, you don't really need any milk replacement. If you're going to have a little bit of it, it does have some of the vitamins and minerals in it. It's not going to hurt as far as that goes, but it's not a necessity for us.
Okay. So I like to end every podcast with these 3 questions. If you could tell your younger self one thing today, what would that be?
My younger self. Now, how young are we talking?
I don't know. How young do you want to go back?
Oh my. Well, I would probably go back to about whenever I would have got pregnant with my first, and it would be very simple. I would tell myself to get rid of that gluten.
Yeah.
No, for real, because that is still my biggest.
It's crazy how one thing can mess you up so much.
My biggest heckler, it is gluten, and I used to just splurge once a year, and I'd be like, oh, I'll get a slice of Denny and Pearl's pizza because I love it. But I pay for it the next day. I woke up with the 1 year severe vertigo. I couldn't even get out of bed. Like, my body does not handle gluten well. It causes a lot of inflammation, and for everyone that's different. It causes inflammation in everybody. But for one person, they might not notice or care that their stomach is bloated. And for another, I get severe vertigo and anxiety. So I would say get away from that gluten. Like, start taking care of your body. Learn sooner. look into this. And I don't even know if it was a thing the whole way back
I
then.
don't think it was.
Honestly.
I mean, there's so much difference now between our diets from then and now. It's crazy.
Oh,
That's why I had said on another episode that I was talking to my uncle about all this, and he had went through a heart attack and stuff, so we were talking about diet, and he's like, you know, your pap had to ask me what organic even meant when he saw it on packaging, because they never had organic, so it's just crazy to me.
What's wild about that, though, is that they did have organic. They just never used to have to label it.
Yeah, that's true.
So back when your pap would have been eating, everything was organic.
Mm-hmm.
The processed foods that were normalized on shelves, like Kraft mac and cheese, that sort of thing, that came out whenever I think I was 2.
I think they said like more the like later 80s and 90s, I think.
So before, everything was organic, so no, they wouldn't know the difference, and they think it's quackery, but it's just that you didn't have to label it before.
Yeah, it's crazy to me. So how do you find joy in your everyday?
I don't really have to find it, honestly. Like, I go through spurts, but I think that I'm a generally joyous person. Like, my kids are my joy.
Yeah.
You know, just being with them and just being their mom. And maybe that sounds really like cliche or lame, but
I wish more people felt that way.
Joy. I mean, they overwhelm me. They drive me bonkers. But I just, I don't know. I love seeing their faces in the morning and just looking forward to things with them, like just as a family, you know, my boyfriend included. Like, I love our family time. I love looking forward to our vacations together. And right now, what's bringing me joy is thinking about us getting into our new house. It's almost done being built, so I want us all to make memories there. I look forward to things like that, our holidays together.
You little lucky duck.
Yes.
What legacy would you like to leave behind? Whether it's through your kids, your job, whatever.
Honestly, probably just all of it combined, and I think that's me. It's all of it combined. I am that witch doctor, scrunchy, crunchy mom. That's me. That's my whole life. That's what I'm going to leave behind. Like, that Shana, she sure loved those kids, and she sure liked her organic rabbit's food, as some people would say.
Well, sometimes you'd rather that rabbit food than to be in and out of hospitals. I can tell you that. So
that's right, and that's what I wanted for my kids, and I don't care how crazy people think that is. I want what's best for them.
I know they hear me. They may not always follow it every day, but I definitely know that they're listening. So hopefully eventually, somewhere along the way, they'll pick it back up.
Oh, I know they will.
Because I know as they get teens, it's a lot harder when they can go out and get their own stuff. And
they don't always make the best choices. No. But when they get older and it's going to go down in line through the kids, that is the legacy. It might not be all my parenting, because I have rough days and I'm not a perfect mom. Yeah. But if nothing else, I've drilled into their heads, like, this is what's good for you. This is what you should be focusing on. You should please stay away from this. Yeah. Don't eat this when you're not with your mom. And they're going to have that in the back of their heads, and it's going to get passed down. Like, my grandchildren are going to, hopefully, fingers crossed,
isn't that funny?
live a healthier lifestyle and feel their best and not go through what I went through mentally and physically because of what I'm leaving behind in their heads.
My grandma said not to eat those dyes.
That's right. That's what I hope for.
So this conversation reminded me that healing and joy aren't separate. They are deeply intertwined. So whether you're a doctor, a teacher, or just someone trying to get through the week, there's wisdom in paying attention to your whole self. Remember, God only gave us one life, one body. So let's be wise and take care of it now before we have to walk down a long road of disease. We are to live healthy lives so that we can be disciples for Jesus and raise up our kids and grandkids. This topic will always remain close to my heart, not just because of what I walk through personally, but because I want to raise my children up to take care of themselves too. Shana, I want to thank you again so much for coming on. This was a great episode, and I thank you for being vulnerable to share your story. But before we go, I want to have a little fun and do some rapid fire. Okay. So what is your favorite vegetable?
I would say broccoli. I like it sauteed with coconut oil and some sea salt. I could eat so much of that.
Sounds good. Hobby or activity that brings you joy?
I don't even know if it brings me joy, but it makes me feel better mentally, and I do exercise. That's just what I do. I don't have a lot of things that I'm good at or hobbies. Like my daughter, she crochets and she's a great artist, and my sons love their sports. I'm not into all of that. But I do exercise, I lift weights, and I do enjoy it. And maybe not
Yeah.
in the moment, but I enjoy it afterwards.
I need to get your routine because you look amazing.
Thank you.
What's a wellness trend that you secretly love?
I'm not really on any trends right now, but I think I'm always going to love some of the basics, just like the fascia release and the red light therapy, like releasing trauma and just healing in those certain ways. Like our bodies store trauma in our muscles, and just that sort of thing, like the massage therapy. And so those are not really trends, I guess, anymore. They've been around for a little while, but for a while I've seen it, like the tapping and the red light always goes with it. It's just such a healing thing. So maybe red light therapy is still a trend, but now it's about the wrinkles. They're like, hey, red light therapy for wrinkles. But that's still one that I love. I think I'll always love that.
What's one thing that's on your nightstand right now?
Well, you might be surprised, but there's nothing on my nightstand that would have any correlation with my lifestyle. Okay. I have a plant.
Okay, well that's good because it cleans the air.
It does. It's spider plants, snake plants, and I have those in my room, and one is on my nightstand.
What is the most used app on your phone?
Honestly, I don't know. Maybe Facebook.
Yeah,
because that's how
because we're getting older, so
I like to
now
share
we're back to
pictures
Facebook.
of my kids, and that's just, I don't actually spend a lot of time on my phone, but when I do, I just scroll Facebook, post some pictures of the weekend with my kids, like what we did, and otherwise, when I'm using my phone, I am ordering groceries.
Yeah.
Whether it's on Walmart for an upkeep or Thrive.
I'm sure they eat a lot, right?
This is constant. So if you see me on my phone for an extended period, I am ordering a Thrive order.
Shana, where can people find you?
So I am on all social media platforms, and anyone can just reach out. And if they're interested in getting to know this lifestyle a little bit better, even if it's just nutrition or it could be an actual healing of something, just shoot me a message. I see people on the side. I also am seeing patients at Sheer Volume Salon. Now, mostly I've seen people for weight loss and things like that, but we can do any and all of this there. So just get a hold of me on any social media platform if anyone's interested, or just follow my content. I don't share as much as I should, but some of the things I do share, people give me feedback. They're like, I love when you share like the swaps and the things, swap
I love
this
those
out
too.
for that. It's just informative, and it's not pushy, and they could switch that, and that's one easy thing that gets you started.
Okay.
But
I can even list maybe like an email or something in the show notes if you would like me to, but
my email too, or my phone number, it probably shouldn't be, but it is on my Facebook, just for people to reach out, because that was when I did have my website for this, before starting at Sheer Volume. That was how people got a hold of me, was just my own personal phone number, so it is on there.
Well, they can even call Sheer Volume.
Call Sheer Volume, make an appointment,
Okay. All right, Joy listeners, I want to thank you for tuning in today. If you found this episode interesting, please share it with your community. You can also leave a review. That just helps me be able to be found in the list a little bit easier and ups the numbers. But you can also subscribe and follow. I drop every Thursday at 9 a.m. I would also love for you to follow me on Facebook or Instagram at gina.rickner. And let me know what you'd like to hear. If whatever you're struggling with, whatever you want to hear on the podcast, you can just send me a message, and I'd like to hear from y'all, whether you're liking the podcast or not. I'm also always looking for guests to come on, so if you're interested in sharing your story, you're welcome to come on with me. You can also reach me at gmrickner@icloud.com. As always, go out and find the joy today. Bye, friends.